All right. So let's come to a tall seat and we'll get started. Let's close our eyes. Begin to ground down into the tailbone. Draw your navel into your spine. And feel your spine beginning to lengthen. Crown of the head rising up, the neck elongating, each vertebrae lifting off of one another, relieving any pressure in your back. I want you to take a moment, send some breath down into the hips and into the thighs. Use the breath to help them to release, the knees moving closer to the ground, the thighs relaxing, the hips grounding. And if you feel like you need to make any adjustments, feel free to do so that you have a nice sturdy seat to start with. I want you to take time now to slow the breath. Don't rush through the inhale and the exhale. Allow them to come in gently and slowly, and then to leave just as slowly. Filling the lungs and then emptying them, creating a steady rhythm. And then on one of those deep inhales, I want you to bring the arms out to the sides and all the way up to the sky, reaching as tall as you can as you go. On the exhale, bring those arms right back down alongside of you. Then again, a big inhale, bring those arms all the way out and up, reaching through those fingertips. And exhale out and down, bringing the arms back alongside of you. And then one more time, big inhale out and up. And exhale all the way back down. This time you're going to inhale one arm up and over, planting the other down, supporting you as you open through those ribs and a few deep breaths between them, allowing them to stretch open. As you inhale, return to center, bringing that hand down to the ground. And then on another inhale, big breath, bring that arm up and over on the other side now. Again, use that opposite hand to ground you, to support you. Feeling those ribs opening and separating. And then on an inhale, coming back to center, let's bring both arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to fold forward. We're going to walk those hands away from us, relax to gravity, and take a few deep breaths. As you inhale, you're going to walk yourself back up to a tall seat and then cross your legs the opposite way. Again, take a moment, center your body, deep, steady breathing. As you inhale, we'll bring the arms back up to the sky, reach up through those fingertips. On the exhale, we'll twist opposite hand to knee, back arm supporting you like a second spine. Just take a moment to breathe here, guide yourself into your twist. And then a big inhale, bring the arms back up, returning to center. And on the exhale, twist over to the other side. Again, pausing here, deep breathing, guiding yourself into the twist. And then returning to center once more, big inhale, bring those arms all the way up. On the exhale, fold forward once more. We'll walk the hands away, relaxing to gravity. Maybe you want to wiggle a little bit down, a little deeper. Staying low, we're going to walk across the body over to the right. Folding over the thigh, reach across with the left arm. Feel that side opening. And then walking across center, all the way to the left. Once more, we fold down, reach across with the right arm, feeling the right side open, hips stay grounded. And then inhaling back to the center and walking up to a tall seat. And from here, we're going to come to our hands and knees in tabletop. In tabletop, I want you to make sure your wrists come beneath your shoulders, knees beneath those hips. Take a deep breath in as you elongate your spine, strengthening through your core. And then on the exhale, lift the spine, tucking under tailbone and chin, coming to cat pose. As you inhale, open belly, chest, and tailbone, coming to cow. Again, the exhale allows you to come into cat pose, lift that spine high, tuck everything under. And a big inhale as you open into cow, release and stretch. I want you to keep going with your own breath for a few more rounds of cat-cow, taking your time here. Stretching the spine in each direction. Taking time to begin to strengthen and support yourself through your core. And on your next exhale, you're going to come all the way back to child's pose. Hips to heels, belly to thigh, head to the ground. And let's just hold here. Sinking into those hips, maybe wiggling a little bit to go a little deeper. Deep breaths into the belly and the lower back. Good. And when you're ready, big inhale, come back to your flat back table. Tuck under those toes, and we're going to exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's pedal out those feet, get a good stretch to the back of the body, open those shoulders, activate the chest. Strong core, lifting those hips up to the air. And from here, you're going to walk the feet up to meet your hands in forward bend when you feel ready. With a little bend in those knees, sink down, looking towards the legs, let the head hang heavy. We're going to shake the head yes and no a few times. As you inhale, you're going to look halfway up, taking your hands to your shins or your thighs. Exhale, fold forward. And then again, big inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. And one more time, big inhale, look halfway up. And exhale, fold forward. This time you're going to bend the knees a little deeper and inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time like a rag doll, nice and slow. And come up to standing. Once you're there, you're going to inhale, arms right up to the sky. Bend the knees, exhale, swan dive back down into that forward bend. I want you to walk your feet back to downward dog. Take your time to get there. And then on an inhale, you're going to push forward to your plank position. Knees can be up or down. Exhale, lower the body to the ground, however you need to get there. Untuck the toes and inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Come up to that cobra. And exhale, lower back to the mat. As you inhale, come back up to that cobra. Exhale, lower back down. And one more time, let's inhale, roll up to that cobra. And exhale, back down. This time you're going to inhale up to cobra. Let's hold, deep breathing. And as you exhale, lower to the mat and tuck back to your child's pose. And then we're going to inhale to flat back table. Tuck under those toes and exhale back to downward facing dog. From here, let's walk the feet up to meet our hands in our forward bend once more. Bend the knees and inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Use that core, get a good stretch through your spine on the way up. And then tall mountain pose once you reach the top. So let's just take a moment, connect with the ground beneath us. Spread out those toes, plant through those feet. Lift up through the legs, engaging the core. Roll the shoulders back and down as the fingertips reach for the floor beneath you. And close your eyes. I want you to take a moment here with the eyes closed, connecting with the floor, connecting with the air surrounding you, feeling each muscle working towards bringing you to balance. Opening the eyes when you're ready. Inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. Let's grab onto one wrist and gently lift up and over. Feel a nice big stretch as you open through the side of the body. Then returning to center, grab onto the other wrist, and again, big inhale up and over. And then big inhale back to center, reach all the way up. Take the hands down to the lower back, supporting yourself right over the tailbone. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, strengthen your core. Pull that navel in. And then on the next inhale, press the hips forward. Open through the torso, leaning back a little bit, gentle back bend here. When you're ready, return to center. Big inhale as those arms come all the way back up overhead. And on the exhale, bend the knees and swan dive into your forward bend. As you inhale, you're going to bend your knees, reverse swan dive, lift yourself all the way back up. Use those thighs to lift your body. And exhale, take the hands down to your heart. From here, we're going to take the feet and we're going to separate them a little bigger than shoulder width apart. So the feet should be bigger than your shoulders, and turn your toes outwards. Okay. Once you feel comfortable, the feet are nicely planted on the ground, toes are spread out away from you. You're going to take your hands wherever you feel comfortable right now. And then you're going to bend into those knees. So just take a moment first. Feel those feet planted. Feel those thighs opening and widening. Feel your hips gently tuck under. You want to feel the tailbone come underneath you. Your core gets drawn in. Your chest lifts, the ribs open. And we take the shoulders, roll them back and down. Hands can either be at the hips, or if you'd like to, come to a full goddess pose, squeezing the shoulders back. Hold for a moment, deep breathing, finding comfort in this position, finding our balance. Strong core here, hips widening as much as possible. Then as you inhale, you're going to extend arms and legs, coming to star. Exhale, lower back to goddess. Inhale, open to star. Exhale, lower to goddess. Inhale, open to star. Exhale to goddess. One more time. Let's inhale, open to star. And exhale, lower to goddess. Let's hold. Deep breathing. Make sure the core is strong. Tailbone slightly tucked under. The hips are nice and wide and open. Shoulders are pulled back. If it's easier for you, you can always have the hands on the hips. Shoulders are still back. From here, take the hands down to your thighs. Maintain your goddess position with your legs, strong core. Then what you're going to do is just gently lean forward a little bit, put some weight into your thighs. You're going to take your left shoulder, press it over towards your right knee. Then returning to center, take the right shoulder, and push it over to your left knee. Then as you inhale, come back to center. See if you can sink a little bit lower into those hips, supporting yourself on your thighs. And then straightening those legs out, coming back to center. Let's turn the toes forward. Hands to the hips. Strengthen through those inner thighs. Strong core. Big inhale. And then exhale, hinging forward, keeping the back flat as far as you can. When you can't any longer, take the hands down and enjoy the wide-legged straddle forward bend, a little bend in the knees to support you. Don't stress out those hamstrings. And you can do whatever you need to make this your stretch here. You can sink down as deep as you like. You might rock the hips side to side. Maybe you want to hold those elbows and sway, whatever feels good to you. And then from here, bending the knees, take your hands to your thighs. Use your legs to lift your torso. Bend the knees deep and then use the legs to lift you up. Good. And let's bring those legs back together and come to the top of our mat. From here, take a big inhale. Bring the arms back up to the sky. As you exhale, bring the arms down, swan diving into your forward bend. And from here, we're going to walk back to downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Hold your downward dog for a moment. Strong core, lifting those hips. Open your shoulders, activate your chest. Press into those heels, get a good stretch. Strong body here. As you inhale, take your right leg, lift it up to the sky for three-legged dog. Then gently step it through for lunge. Once it's there, drop your left knee to the ground and untuck your left toe. Situate yourself so that your right foot is a little bit ahead of your right knee. And then when you're ready on an inhale, you're going to sink down into those hips, dropping them closer to the ground, leaning forward, stretching out that left hip flexor. Your right knee shouldn't come past your right toes. So if you need to walk that foot further ahead of you, feel free to do so. You feel a nice stretch all through that left hip flexor, all through the groin here. And then from here, you're going to exhale, tuck the hips back, keep them up, don't drop down to the heel. Straighten that right leg, flex your toes back to you, and bring your nose towards your knee. It's not going to touch, but that's just the direction we're going in. And again, we're holding, deep breathing. And when you're ready, you're going to come back to that lunge. From here, what I want you to do is tuck that left toe under. Lift up to a higher lunge, and then step back to downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to hold for a moment, lifting those hips high, pressing down to those heels, opening those shoulders, activating the chest. When you're ready, put the weight into your right foot. Take your left foot, lift it up to the sky for three-legged dog. And then gently bring the knee in and forward to that lunge. Once you're there, drop your right knee down, untuck your right toes. Take your left foot, make sure it's ahead of your left knee. Once it's there, take a moment and you're going to sink forward, big inhale, into this lunge, stretch through that right hip flexor. Good. From here, you're going to gently tuck those hips back and up, straighten out the left leg, flex the left toes towards you, and then bring the nose towards that left knee, and a few deep breaths here. And then from here, return to center gently. You're going to tuck under your right toe, lift up to a lunge, and then step back to your downward facing dog. And again, we're holding, lifting those hips high, pressing into those heels, opening those shoulders wide, strong core. As you inhale, let's move forward to a plank. Exhale, lower to the ground, knees or chaturanga. Untuck those toes and inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, coming up to that cobra. As you exhale, lower back to the floor and tuck back for child's pose. And as you inhale, return to flat back table. And then gently move over to one hip and all the way around back to a seated position. We'll bring the soles of the feet into Baddha Konasana. So sitting up tall, relax the shoulders back and down, relax those hips open. Take a deep breath in, and when you're ready, exhale, fold forward towards the legs, the flat back. And when you've gone as far as you can, relax the head, neck, and shoulders, and take time to breathe yourself a little bit deeper into the pose. As you inhale, rise all the way back up. Let's take our knees, bring them together, and give them a great big hug into the chest. And then you're going to lower down one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the floor. Once you're there, bring the knees back into your chest. Give them a great big hug, pulling them towards you gently, lifting the tailbone up to the sky. Then from here, I want you to take the hands to the knees, roll the knees in a big circle in one direction a couple of times, keeping the legs together. And then let's go the opposite direction. Again, big circles going in the same direction. Good. From here, let's come to center. Bring those knees in, give them a great big hug. And then rock side to side a few times. Massage the back out against the ground. And then coming to center. Take the soles of the feet to the mat. Open them as wide apart as your mat. And do some windshield wipers. Let the knees fall side to side. From here, take a big full body stretch. Extend arms and legs far away from each other. And rotate wrists and ankles a few times in each direction. Good. And then from here, if there's any other stretches you need, take your time now to take those stretches. And then you can start to get ready for your Shavasana. I'm going to leave you in Shavasana to come out at your own pace. So if you feel the need to grab a pillow or a blanket, or if you need to set a timer for yourself, feel free to do that now. So as we begin now to enter our Shavasana, I invite you to rest. Rest the body into the ground. Allow the breath to rest as it flows naturally. Allow the mind to be at rest, as it is not obligated to think of anything in particular. Allow thoughts to flow. Allow them to pass through. And don't stop for any long amount of time on any thought. Just acknowledge and allow them to continue to pass, set aside for later. Allow yourself to gently smile as you enter a state of contentment. Allow yourself to feel the positive energy of your practice flowing through you. Allow yourself to be at peace, if only for this moment. Free from everything that does not serve you in this time and in this space. Capable of being connected with all parts of the self. And taking this time now to honor and to respect all of those parts.